Happy Friday, sixth graders. Hope you're having a good day. First thing we're going to do is we are going to get the students that want to retest situated here. So if you are planning on retesting, okay, remember the retest requirements that you have to have done here before we test. First one, you have to have your test corrections made on a separate sheet of paper. The paper copy of the study guide needs to be completed, and you should have gotten that in class. And then you can't have any missing work for chapter 3, so that all needs to be submitted. Okay? If you have those 3 things done and you want to retest, you are going to get the retest from the teacher, and you'll go to the math lab with the requirements. Okay, so with the test corrections and the paper copy of your study guide. Okay, Miss Holly will be in the math lab, and I've talked to her, so she'll be expecting you. Okay, when you're in the math lab, once you get done, you'll staple everything together in the math lab when you're finished, and then Miss Holly will get those back to me. Okay, and then you'll just come back to class and you'll continue with what's going on. Take your time. You cannot finish the test at home. So if you don't finish the test, you'll just need to leave it in the math lab, and we'll have to find a time maybe before school or after school that you can finish it. So if you are taking the retest and you have those requirements done, go ahead, get those things situated quietly right now. The rest of us are going to start off with a game of 101 or Bust. All right, let me do a quick review of 101 or Bust. It's been a little bit since we've played. You'll play against the person you're sitting next to. If you don't have somebody sitting next to you, you'll find somebody else who doesn't have somebody sitting by them, and you can play that person. You'll do a Google search for roll a die, and you'll get that Google app and get the 6-sided die. Remember, when you roll the die, you just take turns, and you can either take the face value of the die. So if I rolled a 6, I could take 6 points, or I could take 10 times that amount, so 60. And the first one to reach 101 wins. Remember, if you go over 101, you go back to 50. Okay? It's possible you might get a couple of games in the time allowed. So the video will get paused here. Those taking the retest can get the retest from the teacher, and those playing 101 or Bust, you can go ahead and start playing your game. All right, let's take a look at our assignment that we are going to be doing today. So today's assignment is going to look like this. Now I know this looks like a lot, but I have a feeling you're going to get pretty far on this, if not completed. Okay, so what we have here is a multiple dot to dot. Now, I'm going to read the directions. It might be a little difficult to see because it's written small, but let me read the directions. It says, join multiples in order, check how many you need, and do not exceed this. Join the last multiple and the initial multiple to complete each. So we're going to take a look at how this assignment goes. All right, so you can see that there's different boxes in here. And I'm going to zoom in here, on one of these boxes here. I'm going to zoom in on the first box, make it a little bigger, a little easier to see here. All right, so I can see the directions in this box say we're finding the first 10 multiples of 2. Now remember, we use multiples when we play Unlucky 13. Multiples of a number are just when we skip count by that number. Okay, so in this one, we're finding the first 10 multiples of the number 2. So if we were playing Unlucky 26, let's say, and we were going multiples of 2, we'd skip count by 2. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8. So we're going to find, and we know the first multiple of 2 is going to be 2, and I see that one right here. So I'm going to start there. Now we want to find the first 10 multiples. So we'd go 2, and then we'd know the next multiple is 4. All right, so we're coming here to 4. We're going to connect that. And then 6 would be our next multiple. Now, notice there are some numbers in here that aren't multiples. We're not going to use those. So we'll go through, and 2, 4, 6, right? We'll continue until we have 10 multiples. So we'll connect those 10. I'm going to give you a second to think. What would the 10th multiple of 2 be? Maybe you figured out it's going to be 20. You're right if you said that. So we're going to connect our first 10 multiples, starting at 2, and we're going to end at 20, because that would be the 10th multiple. Now, in the directions, it says connect the last multiple with the first multiple. So we ended on 20, and we would connect that then to 2. Okay? And that would get us our first section done. Then we'd go on to the second section, right? And the second section is going to give us directions there. Zoom in there again. And we can see the second section says, this time we're going to find the first 11 multiples of 5. So now we're skip counting by 5s, right? You'll continue to do that for each of the boxes here. And once you're all completed with that, it should create a picture or something that you are able to make some sense out of. You will find 4 QR codes around the room, and they will say multiples ... So that's where you'll get this, you'll get that sheet. I would upload it to Notability and do it in Notability, okay? That'll allow you to enlarge it, make it a little bit easier to work on this, all right? And then when you're all finished, you will submit it into Canvas, and it's titled Assignment for Friday, October 27th. And you'll find that in the current module that we're in, or you could go to your calendar and you'll see it there. All right, so good luck on that, and submit it when you're all finished.